Well, welcome back to the NBA 2K26 Summer League. We have a special guest, President of Basketball Operations for the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens. And let's get right to it. Tough to see some of the guys that helped to win a championship with you gone from the roster. Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and potentially Al Horford. Can you just speak to what those guys meant to your franchise?
Yeah, and Luke too. It's a part of, as I said the other day in a press conference, it's a part of this new CBA and obviously the second apron that, we've been above the last couple of years. And, it's an unfortunate part. We're lucky to get the guys that we got back in those trades, specifically Simons and Niang. But, it's hard to see Drew go. It's hard to see Kristaps go, Luke, Al. They've, just been unbelievable people to have in our group and have added value. And hopefully, I know when they come back to Boston this year, it'll be pretty special, the tributes to all of them.
And a lot of people are saying this is a gap year or whatever for the Celtics. Obviously, Tatum down. You've traded so many pieces. But how are you guys looking at this season, and where do you think this roster's at?
We're going to do like we always do. We're going to try to put our best foot forward and, compete to the very best of our ability and play to the strengths of our team. I think sometimes when you have guys that are as versatile and as accomplished as the guys we've had, you can be a little bit more, everybody can take their turns or get their share and whatever the case may be. And we'll probably have to be a little bit more, soaring with each individual's strengths in this particular team. But, we've got a really good foundation. Obviously, when you talk about being not maybe as top heavy as we've been in the past, then you think, well, we've got Jaylen Brown. Right. We've got Derek White. We've got, Pritchard. We've got obviously Hauser. Those guys have been through a lot and they've won a lot of games. And, Jaylen is, Jaylen's had such a special career and has had such an impact on winning that I'm looking forward to seeing how we all compete together.
Well, I hear those guys that we know are proven at the NBA level, all of them. But for your Summer League team, for your G League team the past couple of years, we've seen guys like Jordan Walsh develop, J.D. Davison, another guy that has stood out, Baylor Shireman. When you're here evaluating these guys today, is it different this year thinking, well, we may need them a little bit more as opposed to in the
maybe not for me. Maybe for the coaches it is, right? I think that, last year when Shireman was playing, you're preparing him for the reality that he's probably not going to play a lot. Just because of how, deep we were, in our rotation. But, he played really well at the end of this regular season. And, the biggest challenge then as you now stack another summer league on top of this is don't try to do too much. Don't try to be somebody you're not, and just do what you would do within the confines of, our team when we all get back together, in September.
All right. They have to do a replay on this last play. So we're going to step away for a second. We come back more from Brad Stevens. Now, something you spoke to a little bit earlier about the decision making that you have to kind of put down in this offseason is the second apron and how that makes things different. Can you break down, especially, for a team like
he's laughing like no.
Celtics, he's like, no, it's how much did that change how you approach the offseason? As McCullers continues to have the first half.
Listen, we knew as, even 3 years ago, right, that we were, when the new CBA was kicking in and it was going to be slowly become fully operational, I guess. We knew that in the first couple years we were going to be over the second apron, and those are the years that we really had to go all in and really make a run at it. And obviously we did that. We were fortunate enough to win one, but, and we've had really good teams, but the reality is that that's not going to be doable forever. Other teams are going to run into that. And so, yeah, this is part of it. It's, I don't look at it as, anything, but we've got to retool and we've got to, make sure that we are building the right group around our core, and our core is very strong.
And talking about the right group and building around those guys, one piece that you guys were able to bring in, Anthony Simons. Talk to us about what he brings to this Boston Celtics, new look Boston Celtics team, and what do you expect out of him?
Well, he's 26 years old and he's averaged 20 a game for 3 straight years, which, people that maybe people in New England or people in the East Coast don't see as many Portland games late at night, right, that aren't on League Pass. But I think that he's a guy that can really score the ball. I think he's one of the best shooters in the league. He's one of the best tough shot makers in the league. Just a really good player.
So when I hear that, we know that typically every year, the expectation for the team, you're thinking championship aspirations. What are your expectations this season for you?
I don't ever put a ceiling on our team. Our expectation is to compete and try to win the next game. The whole goal of being in my position in Boston or playing in Boston or coaching in Boston is to compete for championships, and that's what you always want to be, and that's ultimately going to be our North Star as we, again, retool this thing. But, every single night we take the court, we want to put our best foot forward and try to win the game.
You talk about putting your best foot forward. Is there somebody specifically you have in mind that you're saying, hey, listen, with this much more opportunity available to you this year, I'm expecting this player to take a jump?
I don't really want to put that on any individual player because I care a lot more about the team.
Right.
Let's all take a jump. Let's accentuate each other. And obviously all of the attention is going to go to our best players. It always does. And they've done such a good job of handling that in the past. And if you're around them, you generally play well. And so I think that's, it's going to be putting the pieces together and, again, making sure we're soaring with everybody's strengths. But if everybody can do that and play to that, I think we can be a good basketball team.
Can you take us to the human side of it with Jason Tatum? Because here's a player that we've all seen develop from the very first time he was drafted into this league and be able to become a champion and a perennial all-star. It goes down with the Achilles tear the next couple of weeks, the next month or two. What were those conversations like? How is he doing as a person?
He seems to be doing really well. It's hard. I mean, rehabbing's hard. Anybody that's ever been through a long injury and a long recovery it's just it's a challenge. It's a mental challenge, physical challenge, obviously, but he got the surgery right away. And from that point on, his mindset was, we are going after this thing and trying to get better. And he's a competitor. He's going to compete in everything he does, including his rehab. And so I'm really encouraged. I've been basically seeing him every day in Boston for the last 50 days or whatever. And usually he goes away at the end of the season and then comes back, but he just stayed there and has been doing his rehab. And it's been fun to spend time with him every day and, just try to catch up and see how he's doing as we watch him make the strides he needs to make.
And you're talking about Tatum and fighting through this and staying in Boston. Obviously, there's never anything good that can come out of these type of situations as far as injury standpoint. But when you're there all off season and you have to kind of rededicate yourself mentally.
Guess what we have?
What do we have? Another challenge?
Another challenge is coming our way. We got to let Brad Stevens go on that one. Thank you. We appreciate
I don't feel like
your time.
answering any more questions from you.